everyone! I know it's been a while since I made a real video, but as you can see, I'm on crutches. I had hip surgery a week ago today, actually, and it's been kind of, you don't really want to make a video after you do surgery, so I'm going to stand here with my crutches and make a video for you today. I wanted to make a video about something that I haven't really seen too much. It's about how I get inventory living in a small town. My town is about 3,000 people. I don't have one thrift store in my town. And then I go to college at a town that has about 8,000 people with only one thrift store. So obviously I can't do the whole thrift store thing a lot. I'm going to go over 4 ways I get inventory. They are mystery boxes, consignment, liquidation sites, and thrift stores. I'm going to go from where I get least of my inventory to the most of my inventory. So first one is going to be thrift stores. I don't go to thrift stores. The one at school I try to go to once a week, but they literally have the same stuff every single week, so it's hard to go to. I have found really good stuff there. I found a brand new Maeve dress before, and I found some Orvis stuff that sells pretty well, and some J. Jill and Victoria's Secret that I've picked up before, but I usually don't go there too much. So I get maybe 3 pieces every 2 weeks, if that. So I try not to spend too much of my time and energy going through that because it's really not worth it for me. The next one is mystery boxes. Now I know you are all going to say, oh, mystery boxes are bad, you shouldn't do mystery boxes, but honestly, it's where I get most of my inventory right now. Or not most of it, but a lot of it. And I don't just buy every mystery box and go, review them. And it does seem like I have bought a lot though, probably from my videos on YouTube. But I have found that if I really, really pay attention to what people are getting and I go through the store of the person that's giving them, that I can usually get pretty good ones. I got 2 from Ambition's Runway, and obviously there's things that I have to repair in them, but I like to repair things and sell them because I can't just, go to a thrift store and get things that don't need repaired. So I do that, and then a lot of times I shop sales on Poshmark too. The other day I just got a box with 4 things in it. The girl was having a 4 for $25 sale. So I got 4 items that were originally $25 each, and I bought them, and I am going to sell 3 of them and keep 1 of them. So that's another way I get my inventory. I try to stay away from mystery boxes unless they're really, really good. And most of the ones that I actually bought are not really mystery boxes. They say exactly what's inside of them, and they say the brands, and they have a lot of reviews. I don't go by Poshmark reviews, obviously, because you can't see the bad reviews. So I go by Instagram, pretty much, is where I found most of my mystery box reviews. I've only gotten maybe 4 or 5, but the ones I've gotten have been pretty good. The third place that I get my inventory is consignment. So not consignment stores, I consign for people. I used to work at an antique store, so the woman actually who owned it was an antique collector herself, and her house is all antiques, and the store is pretty much a runoff of her collection. She liked to buy and sell antiques a lot, and she kind of just kept them in the store. The store is just kind of her hobby. And it started when she gave me a lot of Smokey Bear posters to sell, and I did pretty well with them, and so then she kept giving me more stuff, and now I have probably at least 100 listings that are hers. They're antiques, and the sell-through rate is not very fast. My sell-through rate right now actually is pretty bad because most of them are antiques, but some of them are expensive antiques, and I get a pretty good cut of that, so it's worth it for me. And they don't move too fast, but I mean, they're fine. And then what I have also done before is I bought I didn't buy. The guy that I know owns storage units, and he let me take all the stuff from one of them who owed him payments for 5 years, so it was he pretty much owned it. And I sold everything inside of there, and I split it with them 50-50. I was maybe about 18 or a lot younger than that when I did that. So that was like my first consignment kind of deal. That worked out pretty well. But again, it's like who you know. If you know people who own like storage units like that, maybe you can set up a pretty good deal with them. Because that was really good. I made a lot of money off of that one. And I actually just picked up another customer the other day who knows the antique lady, my boss, and he also has an antique store, and I'm selling like a vintage coat for him. So between them two, I got like the antiques covered, which helps me because then my knowledge of antiques like increases, and then when I go places to like thrift or something, I know if it's worth it. And I've done that a few times, and it's nice that like usually someone like really young like me doesn't really know too much about antiques, but I would say that I have a pretty good knowledge of antiques. And then the third customer that I have is actually someone who bought so many purses on QVC, and I'm selling them all because she doesn't use them all anymore, and she is an antique collector too, so she wants that money to buy antiques. And I've sold probably like 20 purses of hers, and she just gave me another 10 yesterday. So I have a lot of purses for her that I'm trying to sell, and then I split that with her too. So between them, I mean, I know I don't get like full profit, but I also don't have to pay for my inventory. So it kind of works out that way. It's not my favorite way to do it, but it's okay. It's inventory, and when I have a hard time getting inventory, I know that they always have more waiting for me. My fourth way of getting inventory and how I get my most inventory is liquidation sites. So I've used liquidation.com before. I'm sure everyone's heard of that. It's just like the main one. And I've also used Bstock before. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's kind of the same thing, but you have to get like, that sells like a lot. Like if you're a store and you want to buy like 30,000 units of JCPenney's merchandise that they couldn't get rid of or something like that. So I actually looked into one, and I got 250 swimsuits, I think. And they ended up being $1.50 each for each piece, and I made pretty good money off of that. I have not bought from Bstock again, just because I haven't found like the right deal, because they're all like really big pallets and stuff like that, and right now I just don't have the room or the resources to do that. Liquidation.com is, you can buy smaller units. I think I just got an 80 unit one, and then I've also gotten before like a 50 and a 20 unit one, and they all come out to like maybe around $3 a piece or something like that. And that's a pretty good deal because, again, I can't go and get inventory. All I have to do is sit on my couch and, surf the web and see what I can find, and I just order them that way, and they're shipped right to my house. And then I go through them and process them and sell them. And personally, my rule for myself is like, don't buy another one until you've made your money back on the one you have. So like if I spent $200 on one, I wouldn't go buy another one until I made at least $200, because then after that everything else is profit. And it's worked pretty well for me like that. I'm still working on the one that I have, but it's around Christmas, so it's kind of hard to, sell used and damaged clothing. And the one I did get was returns, and it did have a lot of damaged items. But again, I like to work on them, and it gives me a project to do. And I feel like since someone else didn't want to fix it, that I fix it and I can sell it for more. So right now, a majority of my inventory is from boxes, and a little bit of it is from liquidation boxes. A little bit of it is from mystery boxes and consignment. And then the small portion is from thrift stores. When I do get the chance, I go to like Clothes Mentor and Plato's Closet and stuff like that. I have a lot from that. I have a lot from the Marshalls and TJ Maxx yellow tag clearance. So between all that, I do get a pretty good amount. Right now I'm just having trouble like growing because I can't get that inventory, and the inventory I have right now is kind of stale. But I don't want to like get rid of that because I don't have new inventory to get. So those are some challenges with not having just a thrift store or anything nearby that you can go to just like on some afternoon when you need inventory. Like I really have to think about what I need, when I need it, find stuff that I need, which is the hardest part because it takes a lot of time. So if you're in a small town and you're having trouble finding inventory and you're seeing everyone on Instagram and Poshmark and they're like, oh, I just went to the bins and got 200 pounds. And I'm like, well, the bins is 3 hours away from me. I can't do that. Just know that there are options and you just have to use your resources. Like, yeah, I pay more per item probably than people who source strictly at the bins. But that's just what I have to do. I have to put more upfront capital because I don't live somewhere that has the bins or has thrift stores. So use your resources, tell people what you do, get to know people. That's just the biggest piece of advice is know people, tell them what you do, because you will just have people coming at you who don't want to who like think their stuff is too good for Goodwill, but they don't know what to do with it. They will come to you. That is how I get my inventory. I'm hoping to, change that a little bit. I'd like if there were like 2 thrift stores around that I could get to when I wanted to, but it's just not really an option right now. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Hopefully make some more connections. And if you're in a small town and you have a lot of space, that's a little bit easier because then you can buy bigger pallets and like liquidation stuff from stores. But if you don't have a lot of space and you're a college student like me, then just keep going, keep trying to make connections, keep buying like small things on liquidation sites, and keep your eye open for really good deals on Poshmark. That's a good source. So yeah, if you have any questions about how I get my inventory that I didn't cover, let me know and I'll be sure to answer it because I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable on how to get it when you don't really have resources nearby. So please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and stay tuned for future videos.